asks how to handle the danger, Ling Shuang points out that while disguising his face is easy, his lightning is too distinctive, asking if he knows any breath-concealing techniques. He mentions he has an advanced one, but she dismisses it, explaining that only a master-level technique can actually mask his elemental aura. Seizing the moment, Xu Jingming opens his system and spends 1,000 ability points to instantly upgrade his breath-concealing technique to master level. He smugly tells her that her advice inspired him to make a sudden breakthrough to master level, leaving a stunned Ling Shuang struggling to believe he did it from a single sentence. To prove his point, Xu Jingming channels his volatile lightning, instantly compressing it into a perfectly quiet, completely concealed orb in his palm. Ling Shuang stares in shock, confirming he really has mastered the rare technique and asking how he could possibly pull off such an instant breakthrough. Xu Jingming shows off his master-level lightning technique, explaining he only learned it because he thought it looked fun. Ling Shuang can't believe that he managed to master yet another high-level skill so easily. She realizes this lightning skill is the perfect solution to their problem, as Xu Jingming can use it to pretend he only has a standard A-rank lightning ability. To help him out, she hands over a smart arm guard carrying some of Eva's processing power and a 9th-rank beast bone that allows teleportation up to 200 kilometers. Ling Shuang quickly clarifies that these treasures are only temporary loans and orders him to operate alone to avoid exposing his identity. She advises him to slightly modify his face, pointing out that enemies will try to recognize him by his energy signature rather than his physical appearance, before telling him to stay safe and teleporting away through a spatial portal. Once outside on the streets, Xu Jingming pulls out the smart arm guard and tries to figure out how to activate it. The device turns on and a hologram of Eva, the AI, materializes to guide him and answer his questions. Curious, he asks her what extra perks he will get if he trains his concealment technique to the Grandmaster level. Eva explains that the Grandmaster level lets him hide his presence and fake a stronger aura up to 2 minor ranks above his actual level. Xu Jingming decides to use his skill points to max it out immediately, knowing a faked power level will give him a huge advantage. Eva is shocked by his sudden power change, realizing he actually mastered the Grandmaster level concealment skill. Xu Jingming just smirks and confirms she guessed right. Next, he decides to test out the Beast Emperor bone to see how well the teleportation works. He teleports instantly, vanishing and reappearing in a flash of lightning. He realizes the move consumes a lot of vitality, limiting him to only 2 uses before needing to recharge, but it is still a god-tier life-saving skill. Before his trip, his girlfriends Jiang Chuxuan and Song Qiuqiu see him off, warning him to contact Principal Ling immediately if he runs into any danger. Xu Jingming assures them everything will be fine. He decides to keep them in the dark about going to the dangerous number 9 ruins to spare them from worrying, planning to disguise himself before boarding his ship. Soon, Xu Jingming successfully boards a massive cruiser under his new disguised identity. He summons Eva and asks if it is safe for her to materialize, and she reassures him that nobody else can see her or detect their telepathic communication. She also confirms his fake identity as Su Chen is completely airtight and registered, informing him that this ship is bound straight for the North Gulf and also carries training camp members from the Thunder and Violent Bear martial arts halls. Suddenly, a staff member approaches him, inviting him to join the ship's temporary defense team to handle marine beasts since he is registered as a strong Tier 4 user, offering a hefty $3 million reward. Xu Jingming happily accepts the offer, and the grateful staff member bows and thanks him for helping secure the voyage. Walking away, Xu Jingming is thrilled, realizing the money is just a bonus compared to the massive amount of easy ability points he will farm by slaying marine beasts. Nearby, 2 elite trainees spot Xu Jingming leaning on the railing and immediately write him off as a clueless rookie who will run away at the first sight of a sea beast. Further down the deck, Lei Jinyang complains to Lin Hui about how arrogant the trainees from the Violent Bear Martial Arts Hall are, before asking if their director can successfully recruit Grandmaster Ling Shuang. Lin Hui suggests asking Xiaolan about it, mentioning that their director only attended the league competition specifically to find space-type ability users. Xiaolan quickly sets the record straight, explaining that the director actually went there to recruit the newly awakened SS-class genius. Lin Hui marvels at Xu Jingming's insane talent at such a young age, though the trainees assume a pampered college genius like him would never risk his life in a dangerous place like these ruins. Hearing this, Lu Heng confidently declares that if he were Xu Jingming, he would face any danger head-on with pure power. Lin Hui mockingly dismisses his tough talk, which instantly angers Lu Heng into challenging him to a duel back at the training camp. Watching them from afar, Xu Jingming notes just how intense the rivalry is between the 2 major martial arts halls. The ship's security captain, Liang Quan, steps up to greet and thank everyone who volunteered to join the temporary defense squad. Sensing Liang Quan's power, Xu Jingming estimates him to be at peak Tier 7 and realizes the security squad's pay must be incredibly high to attract such strong experts. The other guards wave off the captain's thanks, pointing out that protecting the ship is also in their own best interest. Langquan leaves them to inspect the vessel, while the temporary guards confidently promise to keep the ship perfectly safe. As the ship sails deeper into the open ocean, Xu Jingming notices a sudden surge in the number of marine beasts swimming around them. A massive school of swordfish-like beasts surrounds the vessel, immediately terrifying the arrogant rookies who mocked Xu Jingming earlier. Making up lazy excuses about sudden seasickness, both cowards quickly flee the deck to hide back inside the cabins. Xu Jingming calmly watches the swarming beasts, highly tempted to drop a massive condensed lightning ball into the water just to see how many points he can harvest. Suddenly, a huge wave of the aggressive beast leaps out of the water, initiating a direct attack on the ship. Eva quickly identifies them as flying sea swordfish around Tier 3, and notes that they can only attack using their sharp beaks. The sudden onslaught of Tier 3 beasts throws the remaining trainees on deck into a panic, and they scramble to prepare for a very difficult fight. Thrilled by the sudden threat, Lu Heng draws his weapon, eager to cure his boredom with a fight. Lin Hui quickly ignites his fire aura to show that the Thunder Martial Arts Hall won't be outdone, challenging Lu Heng to a friendly competition to see who can slay more beasts. Lu Heng eagerly accepts the challenge, just as the massive swarm of swordfish launches a relentless lunging attack directly at the deck. Before either of them can make a move, Xu Jingming steps forward, manifesting a colossal hand made of pure electricity that grabs a massive cluster of the leaping beasts out of the air. He triggers a massive lightning explosion that instantly vaporizes the captured swarm, leaving both Lin Hui and Lu Heng dumbfounded by his ridiculous power. Lin Hui can't help but wonder how a mere Tier 4 lightning user could easily outrange him. Meanwhile, Lu Heng realizes that this is the very same guy his martial arts hall had mockingly dismissed as a clueless rookie earlier. The other trainees laugh, teasing Lin Hui for getting his kill stolen, though they confidently expect more beasts to show up soon so they can earn their own points. Unbothered by their chatter, our boy checks his system panel and grins, realizing that wiping out that single swarm has pocketed him nearly 3,000 ability points, leaving him craving even more waves. Suddenly, another massive school of swordfish leaps from the water, charging directly toward the ship. Eager to prove himself, Lin Hui prepares his fire magic, waiting impatiently for the beasts to cross into his 70-meter strike zone. Beside him, Lu Heng grips his blade, determined not to let his momentum be overshadowed despite his shorter range. But before either of them can even twitch, Xu Jingming summons another hand of thunder, instantly vaporizing the entire school of beasts. Lin Hui is left in shock, unable to comprehend how a Tier 4 rookie's lightning range could be wider than his own Tier 5 fire attacks. The other trainees begin bickering, joking that Lin Hui is simply too short-ranged compared to this mysterious genius. Watching from the sidelines, an elite trainer is deeply impressed, realizing they have stumbled upon a rare gem on their way to Frosa. He immediately approaches our boy, introducing himself as Teacher Qin Zheng from the prestigious Thunder Martial Arts Hall, and offers him a spot in their training camp. Xu Jingming secretly chuckles, knowing he has already been personally recruited by their actual big boss. He politely turns down the offer, stating he has no interest, which leaves the recruiter deeply disappointed. When another guard asks if they should try harder to convince our boy, Qin Zheng shrugs it off, claiming that a long attack range is not actually that special in the grand scheme of things. 8 hours later, the ship finally nears its destination, and Xu Jingming stares out at the distant coast of Frosa. The trainees note that over the past century, half of Frosa has been completely overrun by beasts, forcing the nation to survive as a mere puppet of the powerful Laxi Empire. Lin Hui walks over to formally introduce himself to our boy, hoping to establish a new connection. Upon hearing his alias, Lin Hui immediately wonders if our boy belongs to a powerful family in the province. But Xu Jingming smoothly dispels the notion, casually revealing that he is actually just a solo rogue hunter. Lin Hui warns him that surviving as a lone wolf is incredibly tough, making one last attempt to recruit him, but Xu Jingming calmly declines, stating he has no plans to join anyone right now. Respecting his choice, Lin Hui politely bids him farewell and walks away. However, his teammates immediately begin grumbling about how arrogant the rookie is, praising Lin Hui for being far too nice to him. Soon, the ship safely pulls into the harbor, and the female staff member hands Xu Jingming a special bank card loaded with his $3 million reward. With his funds secured, our boy is eager to finally head to Asahikawa City to locate the ruins. As he arrives, the massive, futuristic tower of the Heavenly Limit Martial Arts Hall looms before him, and Eva pops up to explain that this hall holds absolute authority over the entire nation of Frosa. Suddenly, a luxury car pulls up with a heavy security detail, and a striking short-haired girl in a sleek red and black outfit steps out. Sensing her impressive strength, Xu Jingming wonders if she is already a Tier 5 student, but Eva quickly warns him that she is actually Ilinka, an elite S-class summoner, and the nation's celebrated holy maiden. He is amazed, noting that summoners are even rarer than space-type magic users, but Eva warns him that Ilinka is undoubtedly in town for the upcoming ruins. She explains that Frosa controls a third of the limited 300 entry passes, meaning he will need to keep a very close eye on their elite fighters once they are inside. Meanwhile, inside the martial arts hall's headquarters, Vice Director Chalef calls an emergency meeting to address the rise of Great Xia's legendary SS rank genius. He warns his board that the prodigy is likely heading to their ruins, declaring that they must locate and assassinate Xu Jingming at all costs. This announcement sends the board members into a complete panic, with everyone shouting that provoking the Great Xia nation will only bring absolute ruin to Frosa. Sick of their cowardice, Ilinka commands everyone to shut up, instantly silencing the entire room. She quickly deduces that this extreme order must have come directly from the chief director. Chalef smugly confirms her suspicion, explaining that their powerful ally, the Laxi Empire, has promised to back them up and push the beast borders back by 20 kilometers if they succeed. Reassured by the massive political backing and the promise of new territory, the greedy board members instantly change their tune, eagerly agreeing that the mission is well worth the risk. But watching them celebrate, a disgusted Ilinka secretly mocks their stupidity, realizing that expanding their borders means nothing when their leaders are merely spineless puppets of the Laxi Empire. With a sinister grin, Chalef notes that even if Xu Jingming does not show up, they can still slaughter any other great Xia geniuses they find instead. He then introduces William Mark, a blonde elite and Tier 6 expert from the powerful William family of the Laxi Empire, who will be entering the ruins alongside Ilinka. Mark tries to act charming as he introduces himself to the Holy Maiden, but a quiet Ilinka instantly sees through his act. She realizes the Laxi Empire is using an arranged marriage to slowly gain complete control over her, yet she currently lacks the power to resist. The next day, a massive crowd of competitors gathers at the heavily guarded entrance of Civilization Ruins No. 9. Dressed in his disguise, our boy blends into the crowd, but some of the trainees immediately spot him, mocking him for entering such a dangerous zone alone without even bringing a mentor. Suddenly, a luxury car screeches to a halt, and the crowd gasps as the Holy Maiden, Ilinka, steps out alongside her elite guard detail to officially enter the ruins.